The market returns to support and bounces away. Have the bulls reached safety? This is Invest with Jacob. Okay, guys, so in yesterday's video, we talked about the fact that the bulls were entering the death zone, the top of Mount Everest, where there's no oxygen, and they would likely need a pullback into support, and we would see what would happen there. The bulls pulled back to our support level and bounced off of that, and now the question is, are the bulls safe? I'll get into that in just 1 second, but first, if you're new here, welcome to the show, guys. My name is Jacob Gabbard, and this is Invest with Jacob, where we use Elliott Wave Theory to break down the SP500 and the NASDAQ. Highly encourage you to hit that subscribe button down below so that you can get our daily S&P updates, our trade setups, and our buy alerts. All right, guys, with the gap and go down, we didn't get any great entry points for the downside. We tried to catch the bottom toward the end of the day, but we were a little bit early as they waited all the way to the close to bounce off of support. So one trade, one loser, and those days happen. Now, let's jump into the chart and take a look. Okay, guys, so here we are on the 1 hour futures chart for the S&P 500. I talked yesterday that I'm very obsessed with Mount Everest, and I love the fact that it's 5 waves to get up there. You got to get to camp 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the summit, which happens to be the top, which is how wave 5 works in Elliott Wave. So it's kind of cool that way. The bulls had to pull back to camp 4 here to get some rest, get some oxygen, and see if they could get enough energy to get to the summit, and we'll see what happens from here. So what I talked about yesterday is it's very possible that this is the top. If our count is 1 degree off, this 5 could move down. But I do think we need one more push higher. And this pullback into support, they started to push here, but we're still too early to understand fully if we're going to get that push higher or not. What we want to see off of this low is a 5-wave move to get started, then a pullback, and then 3, 4, and 5 up into that 5,300 to 5,350 area to complete the move off of the October lows in our wave 5. And then we would look for a stronger turn down that would break this support. So this 50-60 to 50-50 area that I talked about yesterday is extremely important to the bulls. You can see they defended it very well today. They got down to it, bounced right off of it about 30 points or so, and made sure that they did not give the bears a chance to break through. So again, the type of bounce we get will be important. If we get a move that comes up and gives us kind of an overlapping 3 waves into this 5120 area, then we would look for a potential breakdown, okay, that comes down through support and starts selling to the downside pretty rapidly. So from here, it's pretty clear. 50-60 to 50-50 is our area of importance. And our resistance that matters is 50-50 to 50-20 and as high as 51-33. They can give you an ABC into that 51-33 area and then break it down and come back down through support. That would still be very valid. But over 51-33, and it starts to become very bullish again, and we're looking toward 5350, 5300. So that 5300, 5350 area would be our target to the upside. So for those of you who tell me that I give you the up and down, how could I be wrong? You're always telling us it can go in either direction. Anybody could say that. What I just gave you was incredibly important information if you were listening. Instead of running to type to your computer that I say the market go up and down or whatever you want to say, whatever genius comment you come up with, pay attention to the fact that I said this level is hugely important to the bulls. If they break that, rapid selling can begin. That's a great place to play a trade off of. 51.33 is hugely important to the bulls as well. If they break that, great place to play a trade off of because you're looking at 5,300 to 5,350. That's 170 to 200 points of upside. It's not like I'm saying if they break 51.33, they can go to 51.35. Pay attention to the numbers. The key levels matter. This information is important. We give you both directions because the market's allowed to do it at once. We just tell you the probable paths and what levels need to hold or break to make those paths play out. Over on the NASDAQ. Okay, on the NASDAQ, same look as on the ES. One thing to note, guys, this straight down selling is what happens when diagonals play out. I told you this is very overlapping on both charts and very diagonalish. And the question is, how big of a diagonal is selling off here, because this is a diagonal and there's also a big scale, large scale diagonal that once it starts to sell off will involve some very rapid selling, and that'll involve a break of this support. They'll need to break this support to truly get rolling to the downside, but these straight down sell-offs are what you expect when diagonals complete. So really strong selling to support as expected. It held. We talked yesterday about the fact that my primary was looking for that 5350 and 18.5, 18.6 level on the NASDAQ. So far the bulls have done their job. They've held support. And now we would look to see what kind of structure we get on this bounce. If at any point they break this blue box, that is a big warning sign for the bulls and a big problem for the bulls. So for the move back to the upside, first, we'd want to see an impulsive structure if you're bullish. You want to see a 5-wave structure, and then a breakdown, then break out up toward the 18.5 to 18.600 area, even as high as 18.7 if they're really going to push up for that final wave 5 here. That would be what you want to see in the bullish scenario. And they would want to break over that 18.250 area. So 18.250 becomes a really important area for the bulls to break out over, to give us an indication that we're headed for new highs toward that 18.5 to 18.700 area. It's a pretty wide window up here depending on how much of a kind of blow off top they want to give us. But 18.5, 18.6, 18.7 if they're really pushing. And then for the bearish count, we would want to see an ABC up. So you want to see a move up to like the 18,000 region, a rejection, and then a move into the 18,170, 18,100 region, and then a move down that breaks the blue box. If you break the blue box, selling will accelerate to the downside. There's a lot of reasons that this level is important, and the bulls defended it very strongly today on both charts, and that's because they know it's very important. So this weekly low, this Elliott Wave low, this fib low, there's a lot of reasons to watch this. If they break down below it and break this blue box, then selling can rapidly accelerate to the downside in a much, much bigger sell-off. To the upside, they need to hold under 18 or get it back over 18,250 for the bulls to take control and push it back up toward that 18.5, 18.7 area. Guys, if you love the information that I put out in these videos and you want real-time market updates from me, you need to check out investwithjacob.com. There's a link down in the description. Go ahead and click that link. It'll take you right over to the webpage. Once you're there, check out our membership plans area. We have 2 incredible monthly plans that both come with a 7-day free trial. That's because I want you to get in there. I want you to make sure you love it. Interact with the group. Make sure PT and I are people you want to trade with, people that you like. Make sure what I'm saying is true, which it is. Before you ever spend a penny, you can get in there and check it out. You can cancel at any time. You literally have nothing to lose by checking out the rooms. We also have our training material. Just about finished with our advanced course. This course is helping traders understand the complex parts of the market like diagonals, double, triple threes, flats, triangles, trading with Elliott Wave, how to do that. It's really an important course for understanding the complex areas of the market. You can see on the screen that people are loving it. It's helping them truly understand things and make sense of irrational markets. Now, if this is going to be too complex for you to get started, or you're not familiar with Elliott Wave just yet, we have our Elliott Wave for Beginners online course. This course is helping real traders make real money and understand the market in a way that makes sense. It can be very confusing when good news makes the market go down and bad news makes the market go up. And that's because Elliott knew that the news cycles were garbage and that key levels mattered. We went over those today in the video, and those levels are extremely important, and he understood what happened when those levels held and what happened when those levels broke. This gives you a huge advantage over the rest of the market and allows you to make sense of the irrational moves the market makes. The course itself is 25 videos in 3 sections. We have our introduction where we go over your expectations, your mindset, the KISS method, your chart setup and tools where we go through every tool you need to use with Elliott Wave, why to use it and how to use it, and the Elliott Wave for Beginners area where we go through each of the waves, what they look like, what their parameters are, how to use the corrective depth theory, how to use the pivot, all the different things you need to use to understand the market in a way that makes sense. The cool part about all of our training material, the advanced course, the beginner's course, and all the other videos that I will put out is they are all included in monthly memberships. So if you join either of our rooms, you get our training material for free. In our first room, the Invest with Jacob room, you get all of my real-time market updates, all of my buy and sell alerts, all of your Elliott Wave questions answered. A midday video. Today's was about 45 minutes long. We went through the Elite 8, which is like NVIDIA, Apple, all those guys. We went through Bitcoin, the markets, the support levels, why they work the way they work. These calls are really important. They're really educational, and I think they're worth the price of admission. You get market update in there and all your questions answered, and you get all of our training material. We trade the SPY and the QQQ, and we swing and day trade, which means we trade quite often in my room. And if you look for futures trading, individual stocks, income trading, and advanced training, you need to check out PT's Throne Room. In there, you get everything you get in the Invest with Jacob room, as well as futures trading, individual stocks, PT's income trading that is crushing the market, as well as his reduced risk binary method that absolutely kills it. It gets you in at a cheap price and gets you big multiples on your money, and it's how he structures that trade that's so unique. It's something you really have to see to understand, and that's another reason we give you that 7-day free trial. He also started a challenge account where he put $4,000 into an account, trading mini ES futures, showing you how to build a small account into a large retirement or savings account. Guys, we would love to have you in these rooms so we can all make money together. All right, the key takeaways for today. The blue box is of the utmost importance to the bulls. If that breaks, they are in a little bit of trouble. For the bears, they want to hold it under 51.33. If they can do that and break the blue box, they can take control of this market. However, if the bulls push back over 51.33, 53.50 becomes our next target area. Over on the NASDAQ, same type of setup. This blue box, so important to both sides. If the bears can break it, they take control. If the bulls can hold it, they can push higher. Back through the 18,250 level takes us back toward the 18,500, 600, 700 area, depending on how hard the bulls want to push in this last move up into that wave 5 target. Guys, that is your market update for today. I will talk to you tomorrow.